Rita, you had a question?
Yeah, it's not so important. It just came to me, if I would work through my fear and find my desires, and looking at what you did with yours, what happened to your sons, they found their desire, because you found your desire. So if parents find their desires, then it also helps the children automatically, or they probably got a lot of impact from you.
Yes, this is one
information or help.
Yes, but this is one thing to realise with regard to yourself as a parent, and that is that whenever we suppress our personal desires, we are automatically teaching our children to suppress their personal desires. When we do things only for other people, we are automatically teaching our children that they have to do things for other people. When we engage our desire, we are now teaching our children that it's allowable for them to engage their desire. Does that make sense?
Makes a lot of sense.
So there's a great deal of information that comes from the parent to the child based on example, not on their words. So for instance, with Caleb and Tristan, I haven't had to sit down with them and have long discussions with them about engaging their desire at all. The reason why is they can see me engaging mine, and so they see that they're allowed to engage theirs, and they can also see the results of me engaging mine, and they want to have the similar results by engaging theirs. So they're being taught by the example and the desire of the parent to actually develop their own desires and passions. And also, they're taught that they're allowed to have any desire and passion that's harmonious with themselves. They don't have to have mine. And this is a very important thing. If you teach your children that gives them the ability to discover their own self and to discover their own desires very easily, and then to follow those desires with a passion, because they have the example of the parent already doing that. But if, as the parent, we spend most of our life in mundane job, not doing what we like, in a family situation or family life that we're not happy with, in a house that we're not happy with, driving a car that we're not happy with, and having all of the other aspects of our life that we're not really enjoying, what we're teaching our children is that they have to do the same thing as us. That's really what we're teaching them. We're teaching them that that's the path to follow. And so when the parent engages their desires, it has a huge effect on the child. I see a lot of parents saying to their children, you engage your desire, and when all of you kids have engaged your desires, that'll leave me free to engage my desire. And it's a very, very wrong way of handling the situation. When the parent engages their desire and honours their desire, then all of these children will learn automatically that they're allowed to engage their desires and passions at the same time. And then parenting also becomes much more of a joy. We're not waiting for our children to grow up to be 25 and have their own desires and own life before we have our own life. We are having our own life while they're growing up. Yeah? And the only reason why we would suppress our desires while our children are growing up is because we have addictions that cause us to detune from our desires, or we have fears that are causing us to detune. Some of the fears are, if I engage my own desire as a parent and I've got 3 little children, other parents are going to go, well, you're not being a very good parent. And there's one of my fears, my fear of being accused of not being a good parent. And other ones might be, you know, if I engage my desires and I let my children engage their desires, in the end there will not be enough time to have all of our desires met. And that's not true either. When we fully engage our desires and passions, you will find there's enough time to do a lot of things, because you're in passion. You do things very quickly when you're doing them in passion. You don't, you're not slow and laborious every time you're doing something. You're fast because you love doing it. And so you find you finish up having generally more time, not less, when you're engaged with desires. And so this is something to teach our children, very important to teach our children, that they're allowed to engage their desires. But also it's important to teach our children because it teaches them themselves. Your desires will tell you a lot about yourself. that you would never discover by not engaging these desires. So it's a very important way of discovering yourself, discovering your desires. You cannot, in fact, fully discover yourself without discovering your desires. Does that make sense? So, yeah.
Thank you.
Pleasure.